Between Jesus' time and 1747 AD, 34 different and often very prominent Jews have claimed to be the Messiah. The last of these was Moses Haim Lazado. However, only Christ, of all individuals in human history, has fulfilled each detail of at least 61 distinct prophecies to prove he is the Messiah. Anyone who currently claims to be the Messiah is eliminated by several specific and statistically compounding Old Testament prophecies which state the Savior will be born in Bethlehem, in the family line of David, and Abraham, and Isaac, and Jacob, and Jesse. Any messianic candidate must have also lived in Egypt for a while, and victoriously entered Jerusalem on a donkey, and been betrayed by his scattered friends prior to his death, and had his life sold for exactly 30 pieces of silver, which must afterward have been discarded in the temple, and had lots cast for his clothing, and had his body, hands, and feet pierced, and had no bones broken. Additionally, he must have been despised, hated, mocked, smitten, spat, and stared upon, without cause by others, while he was crushed on a Roman cross for the sins of humanity, as a few of his helpless followers stood a distance from the cross. Despite this, the Messiah must have been silent before his accusers, and must have prayed for his persecutors. While on the cross, he must have suffered thirst, and his heart must have eventually burst from agony. Following his death, pre-nighttime darkness must have immediately covered the land. He must also have been buried in a rich man's tomb following his death, and miraculously risen from the grave before he ascended back to heaven from where he came. Again, only Jesus accomplished all this. We will now take a closer look at two specific Old Testament prophecies, Genesis 49:10 and Daniel 9:24-26, which outline precisely when the Messiah must have physically appeared on earth. Genesis 49:10 declares, Shiloh the Messiah must have arrived on earth before the scepter departed from Judah. Many historians believe this finally happened in 11 AD, when the Romans greatly diminished Jewish judicial authority. Virtually all agree this certainly occurred with the second destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD. This means, based upon the Old Testament cherished by Jews, no one born after 70 AD was, is, or could potentially be the Messiah. Jesus Christ was born sometime between 7 to 2 BC, with 4 BC being the consensus of scholars, so he met this most important condition. According to most scholars, Daniel 9:24-26 was written about 570 years before Jesus' birth, but its precision is not affected even if one chooses to accept the 165 BC date proposed by extreme skeptics. The full passage says, 70 weeks, literally 77s, are determined upon your people and upon your holy city to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks, 7 sevens, and 62 weeks, 62 sevens. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined. Two keys to interpreting this prophecy include the facts: 1 week equals 7 years, and a prophetic year contains 360 days, as confirmed by comparing several passages in Genesis, Daniel, and Revelation. With that in mind, this text contains several specific prophecies, including the prediction Jerusalem would be rebuilt 49 years after the decree of Artaxerxes on Nisan 1, 444 BC. It was, as Ezra and Nehemiah record. But most importantly, this passage declares Messiah would be cut off to eternally atone for the sins of mankind precisely 434 prophetic years after this rebuilding effort. In other words, he would be killed 483 prophetic years after the decree. Amazingly, the sin-eliminating Christ was cut off 483 prophetic years after the decree, just as the Bible said. In fact, if you do a little math, you'll discover the prophecy was exact to the day. March 5th, 444 BC, the first day of the Jewish month Nisan in 444 BC, is the date of Artaxerxes' decree to Nehemiah, and 483 prophetic years multiplied by 360 days equals 173,880 days. 173,880 days from March 5th, 444 BC, brings us to March 30th, 33 AD, which corresponds exactly with the day many modern scholars have concluded Jesus entered Jerusalem on a donkey to be crucified. Daniel's necessarily God-given prophecy is exact to the day. Only those who were crucified at this precise time are contenders for messiahship. Further, since only Jesus was a sinless, miraculous, and risen fulfiller of all remaining messianic prophecies, he must be the divine Savior Jews, Christians, and many others are seeking.